I want to get into my gripes. I want to get into what I hated.
Let's hear it.
And it won't be, I know I've ranted in the past, but just some ones that I really had a problem with was the 6ix9ine's album. Horrible. Absolutely. God. You know how he always has, he had Gooba and like all these weird names for this. If I could rename this album, it'd be Poo Poo. Doo-doo. Doo-doo should be the title.
Rainbow colored puke. Just like somebody after eating a whole bag of Skittles.
Yeah, it should just be terrible. Every song on there, absolute garbage. Oh God, so bad. I feel bad. Yeah.
Yeah, from where he was a couple of years ago to where he is now. Oh, it's pathetic. When he dropped his first single, out of jail, like when they put him on house arrest because of COVID, they like let him out of jail early. First of all, crazy video. Like I can see why it like didn't it break the record for like most views in an hour or a day or something. I understand why. It's just like provocative compared to anything else out there, especially with somebody that's had a reputation. But dude, the song was honestly so unimpressive. I don't even think I finished watching the video. And his videos are like 2 minutes long. I think I watched like a minute of it and I was like, okay, I get the point.
Exactly. So that was just extremely not just. I mean, I didn't know what I expected. At least like one or two, good songs. I don't know. It was just bad. I'm not gonna hate on any of those. I just another one that I really just bums me out in general is Jaden Smith. I know in the past he's had potential. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I remember, which reminds me, I gotta send you a few tracks by him a couple of years ago. Really great stuff. You'll really enjoy it.
In terms of like good Jaden Smith, what comes to mind is Ghost, and a couple of the letters off of his previous like Sire and whatever.
Even before that, though, there are some really great lyrical tracks by him.
Oh, word.
And I'm gonna have to find them for you. But this just stinks. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I didn't think it stunk. I thought it was like very tame, this album. Like I heard it. I don't even know if I made it to the end of it. It's so long and slow. Thing is, like, isn't he really close friends with Tyler, the Creator?
Yeah. Everything's very ambient, it's very...
He's probably, Tyler, what Tyler did with Igor was kind of like, I want to say he changed the scene for like what you could do as a rapper that was super aggressive. Like you remember just how aggressive Tyler was at his peak, and how he shifted to this super artistic, like I don't know, just far out left field kind of sound that was beautiful and phenomenal. And like if you have the ear for that type of music, Tyler's definitely one of the best. But I don't know if Jaden fits that niche or he's in that bag. I don't really know. I can't really speak on it.
I'd rather him be flexing on a track, you know what I mean, and doing because he's a kid, right? The thing with Tyler, the cool thing about Tyler, right, is that when he was being aggressive and dropping these fucking crazy lines, he was, everyone looked at him like a kid. He was part of that Odd Future gang. He was just being a goofball, you know what I mean? He was just being and then you see the evolution of someone and you're almost, I think the cool thing was we knew we weren't going to get that same Tyler, 6-7 years after he originally dropped it because he's 6 or 7 years older. You expect something more elevated from a guy like that. And then he gave it to us. And that's why I think people liked it so much. Jaden Smith, I'm sorry, dude. You come across as pretentious almost. You know what I mean? You're like this kid who's trying to be.
Hasn't he always tried to be woke though?
Yeah, he's just forcing it a little bit. He's forcing it a little bit.
That's been part of his thing. I don't
know. Good and bad. There's this collective that you might have seen. It's just a group of producers that started on YouTube, right? They're called Internet Money, and it's like Nick Mira is like the head honcho of all of them. There's a couple more. I don't know them off the top of my head. But do you know the song with Don Toliver, Lemonade?
No, I don't. I'm not that.
Anyways, I really like that song. It's an awesome song. But it came off of this album that they dropped, and I thought it was going to be better since they have like this whole team of super producers. But I was kind of disappointed with that as well. I think I don't know what the album's called off the top of my head, but it's by Internet. I think it's just called Internet Money. And then lastly, again, these weren't disappointing. Okay, so those were my only like major disappointments. Like, ugh, disgusting. Ones that I was just like, expected more from was Ferg's album. Didn't live up to it for me. Floor Seats 2. First of all, did he ever have an album called Floor Seats?
Yeah, he did last year. It was more like an EP. It only had 9 songs on it. So that's like barely an album.
Yeah.
I don't know how that qualifies as an album, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think that wasn't.
Yeah, Floor Seats was only 27 minutes long.
I don't know. I think he's also having a similar situation with, I know he's feuding with his label right now. I feel like there's always drama with that label. I think he's also having a similar situation that Dave East is having. You know what I mean? Just like problems on the business end. So I think that's really affecting.
What is it with these Harlem rappers and their business?
I guess so. Yeah. I don't know. Something's going on there. And then I guess those, I don't want to gripe about these things. Action Bronson dropped an album. I don't want to be cynical because these were bad albums. They really weren't. Action Bronson dropped an album, and
only for dolphins.
Exactly. And a lot of his, I don't know if you're familiar with The Alchemist.
Of course. He's collabed with Eminem.
Exactly. And his production, it's pretty much his style of production throughout the whole album, kind of like orchestral in a sense, very thin. I don't know how to describe
I want to think of Alchemist production as like a weird kind of like a DJ in the lab. I don't know. Like, I understand why they call him Alchemist. He's like putting these weird kind of mixes together. He's an older dude, so he's got that old kind of aspect to it, but it's also like tries to pioneer some new sounds, and it's just very DJ like, just like throwing a bunch of little things together and trying to mix it up.
And cool. So it again, just some of the songs don't have a lot of replay value, and I feel like on some of Action's old stuff when he released 2000, but I love Action Bronson.
Mr. Wonderful.
Mr. Wonderful, yes. Really loved that album. Yeah, and he had a couple good songs on there that you could definitely go back to and listen to. But and I think he's such a cool personality. I love how he calls himself Mr. Baklava. Mr. Baklava. I just love that. He's just cool. He's got that New York accent and everything. But yeah, just I don't know. I just wasn't super impressed with a lot of these drops. Yeah. Anything you want to gripe about?
Honestly, the only album that I heard that I genuinely disliked was one by a guy that I don't even think is relevant. Like, I don't even want to say his name.
Just say it.
Dude, it's like I literally never heard of him until a couple of days ago when I was looking through the either Hot New Hip Hop or Double XL releases for the past 3 months to see what I'd missed.
Yeah.
And I think it was a whole article about this guy, some Atlanta rapper, and he sucks. Dude, honestly, I removed the album, so I don't even know if I'll be able to find it. It's honestly better off that I just don't even mention it.
Please find it. Please find it.
I don't think I can.
No, come on.
Yeah, no, it doesn't pop up as he had a really strange name, dude. It was a really weird name. His music was trash. Is honestly.
I want to know now.
You want to know?
I want to know so bad.
Garbage, dude. I was like, how is this popular? That's why I said earlier in the episode where you're talking about like Atlanta rap being like the past wave, like the past decade, they dominated the scene, and now maybe New York will be the next thing. I hope to God New York's the next thing if Atlanta sounds like this, because this guy is straight out of Atlanta, just like we've had mumble rappers that are like innovative and push the genre forward, whatever. But then you got your mumble rappers that just suck, man.
So bad.
Just suck, yeah. So I think it's better off I don't even try to find the guy's name. But
Okay.
That album sucked. If you know a mumble rapper from Atlanta that just dropped, that's who I'm talking about. Everything else, I don't think I have any disappointments. I have albums that I thought were good, but I don't know if I'll go back to. I know that you had saved on your rap playlist for a while. Cal Scrubby's new album.
Yeah, I've got some songs.
Is it Scrubby or Scrooby? There's only one B. I guess there should be Scrooby, right?
I think it's, I don't know.
Scrubby would be 2 B's.
I guess.
I'm gonna call him Kyle Scrooby. So it's called While You Were Sleeping. And I just want to mention, like, there are a couple lines I wrote down. In the song Underground, he goes, I got the plug with the gas. It's a hybrid.
Nice.
I got the plug with the gas. It's a hybrid. And then on the song Cold Showers, he goes, I need a big bag like Santa when he leaving to the pole or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a big fan of those kind of like
gotta be creative. Gotta be creative with your lines.
Gotta stay creative. Gotta keep hip hop like the most creative genre. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
Of that kind of stuff. So I'll definitely be listening to that album again because, like, I don't know, it's just those gold little nuggets of lyrics.
Yeah.
And the guy's got such a smooth delivery. The guy's, I don't know. I feel like he's nailed his sound. You know how rappers sometimes it take years to nail their sound and to like find their bag or their pocket or what their trademark is. I feel like Cal Scrooby knows what he wants to sound like.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you like it or you don't?
Exactly. So, dude, I just want to go back real quick, and I know maybe you might not have this handy for yourself, but I know you definitely have some opinions. I think we should end the podcast with going back and reflecting on quarter one and quarter two, and then maybe talking about what you want or expect from quarter four.
Sure.
Okay, cool. So, like, when I go back to quarter one, right, I've got obviously my tiers that I made, and I'm feeling pretty confident with how I listed everything. From quarter one, I've got Funeral. I've got the Lil Uzi Vert album. I've got the Eminem album, Blueface, the G Herbo album, Bad Bunny album, Lil Baby. Quarter one was fire. Tons of releases, really great stuff. And those are things I consistently go back to. I love the Blueface album. There's some great songs on there. G Herbo, man, I think his album, I think it was called PTSD. I go back to that tons of times. Lil Baby, still probably MVP of the year for me. And then quarter two, I had saved the Drake album, which
it's almost hard for me to. I almost forgot Lil Baby's My Turn came out this year. Last podcast I said that was my favorite album of the year. Probably staying by that, honestly.
Yeah. I saved Drake's album. I love Drake's album. I love Future's album. Lil Yachty's album was big for me last.
You loved Future's album?
Well, okay. So hold on. Remember, I was saving.
Are you talking about back then?
So when I made these tiers, I put it by how many songs I saved. So
okay.
I didn't love Future's album, but it was one of those albums where I think he had like 25 tracks, and I saved like 5 songs. And those 5 songs I still go back to.
Gotcha.
Heavily. So, and the Tory Lanez album.
Yeah,
I'm feeling really confident with how I've ranked things in the past, but I'm still, if I look at what I liked this quarter, I'm still sticking by My Turn as being the hottest album of the year.
I agree.
And Lil Baby being the hottest artist of the year.
Yeah. No, he's the king of 2020. I actually I wouldn't say I've gone back to any of the albums from the first quarter. Maybe Emmanuel.
What about M's?
No, I haven't really gone back to M's.
Wow.
I don't know. I've been trying to stay. Well, I mean, more so in the past year or two. I've been trying to stay up to date with like newer stuff. Not up to date.
Present.
Keep listening to what?
To stay present. To stay like.
Yeah, a little bit. I want to make sure I absorb an album that's really good, before I let it fall down the stream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But a couple albums from the first quarter that I definitely go back to is My Turn, Certified Hitmaker by Lil Nosy, which is just funny.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Emmanuel AA, Bad Bunny's album, I think, came out.
Man, Bad Bunny's albums. His album's standing strong.
Yeah, for sure, no question. And then second quarter, did you touch upon that already?
Yeah, I touched upon it a little bit. Which ones are you going back to? There were a couple ones where I ranked a little bit lower and I'd probably move them up. Funny enough, I listened to a lot of Nav's album. I don't think you're a huge fan of Nav.
I actually did listen to that album. We didn't talk about it last quarter or last podcast.
I've been going back to there are a couple good just like hits on there.
I think Nav's album Good Intentions makes for good background music, but I wouldn't like listen to it actively or anything. I feel like it's very superficial. It's a very superficial album, and there are superficial albums that sound better than his. But it's a cool sound. It's a very Travis Scott kind of sound. I understand why they've collabed a lot. Almost like Lil Mosey sometimes. In fact, that's why I thought it was funny. One of his lines on Good Intentions was a couple rappers coming out and they sounded like me. And I was like, dude, you sound like them. What are you talking about?
All right, I'm gonna send this to you. Just a couple of songs I have saved by Trouble. I listen to them in the gym a lot.
Oh, word. I'll check it out. There's a guy named Money Man that's like I hadn't heard of before, but he's got some really dope stuff.
Oh, really?
He had the song 24 with Lil Baby.
Okay.
That's his top. That has 38 million streams on Spotify, and that's really good. And he got a few others that were dope.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. All right, cool. So yeah, I mean, I think overall, I think Q1 was definitely my favorite for rap this year, and then things have slowed down a little bit in Q2 and even more in Q3. So who hasn't dropped this year that you're really looking like you'd be disappointed if you didn't hear something from them in Q4?
So for me, there was a single that came out, I want to say like a few weeks ago, by one of my favorite rappers of all time that nobody seems to know about, Jaron Benton. Absolute legend. I think he's one of the most talented rappers in existence, and he's just not mainstream like at all. I feel like I saw one of his recent music videos. It's like 5-digit view count. It's just kind of sad. Yeah, he's so good. He's got this song called "The Bully Freestyles Season 2 Intro." I know it's a bit of a mouthful, but the Bully Freestyle Season 2 Intro may be one of the best songs that came out this year. And it's funny because I think our first episode was when I talked about Holy Water, right? I'm pretty sure that's when Holy Water came out.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, it instantly became one of my favorite songs of the year. Okay. Still is one of my favorite songs of the year. He comes out with this song, just demolishes the track, man. I guess maybe it's just a subjective thing. It must be a subjective thing. But I'm just a huge Jaron Benton fan. And now he's dropped at least 2 songs. Actually, he's had a few other ones. Like he's been dropping every few weeks, just solid tracks. And he stays with like the underground crew and whatever. He's got underground collabs. I know he kind of got fucked over, I guess, with the whole Funk Volume thing. He could have ridden the Hop train, actually.
The Hop train.
Yeah, he could have hopped on the Hop train. Because Hopsin has stayed big. Like Hopsin's music videos, when he drops, he gets mad views. He's got a big following, dedicated fan base, including myself. But Jaron Benton, I wish he was still.
Do you think he's going to drop an album this year? Have you heard anything? Do you follow him on his socials?
I don't really follow anybody. That's why this part's going to be tough for me because I don't really anticipate albums. I just, they just come out. But I would love to hear a Jaron Benton album because I can tell he's still got it. He's still in the lab. He's still making hits or songs that slap, for me at least. I don't know if he's planning to drop anything, but usually when rappers drop this much music, I don't know, I guess they're trying to stay relevant, but often I think it's because they've got stuff to build up to an album.
I feel you. I definitely feel you. And I definitely hope to hear some stuff from him too, because I also appreciated Holy Water. That was a great track this year. Now, what about the guy who's, from my perspective, he's in your top right of your screen, J. Cole. He released Lion King on Ice, which I thought was awesome.
Amazing.
Really good.
Really, really good.
Do we see something from him?
I hope to God, man. Lion King on Ice
was so good.
I love it when a rapper comes through and he just he drops something that's 10 times better than everything that's been coming out.
Yeah.
And he sounds like he wasn't even trying.
It was awesome.
It sounded effortless.
It was so good. Great track. Really love that track.
It's so impressive when rappers can do that, when they make an absolute masterpiece. That I was thinking this when I was listening to the song again recently. I was like, if you put me in a room and if I tried to make a song anywhere as good as this, I could spend 10 years on it. I don't think it would come out as good as what J. Cole just dropped on Lion King on Ice. It's just it's so motivational, dude. That guy is unquestionably a legend.
Okay, so we hope we get an album from J. Cole. What about Kendrick? Are we gonna see a Kendrick album?
I believe I heard, I forget who it was that told me or where I saw it, but apparently he was seen filming a music video, right? I don't know.
Okay.
Have you heard about that?
I hadn't seen that. See, you know this stuff. See, this is the stuff I need to know.
I don't know this stuff.
No, you were the scoop just now. Okay,
so he hopefully the next podcast we talk about that music video.
Nice. There's another guy. So I mean, obviously we don't know details. Anything on the Rihanna front? I know she's not rap, right? But she's another one of those.
I've given up on hoping for new Rihanna music long time ago. That's she's almost like detox type stuff, dude.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd love to hear some more Rihanna, but I feel like, I don't know, her era, she was the 2000s girl. Like, it's almost strange to think about what Rihanna would sound like in the 2020s. I feel like the scene is so different. I'd like to hear her collab with Doja Cat, actually. Because I don't think there's any other singer besides Rihanna that I'm as big a fan of as Doja Cat.
Yeah.
To be honest. Which is kind of weird, but I don't know. I think they're somewhat similar. I think that they could have a really good collaboration.
Yeah, I see that. That's dope. Some of the things that I want to see for sure, I'm looking forward to more Wayne. I think Wayne has put together a hell of a year. Funeral. He found a way to release a Free Wheezy album on Spotify. He found a way to release No Ceilings on Spotify. Although those are previous releases, they were on Spotify, and he found a way to do that. He put the deluxe version out for Carter 5. Okay.
Yes. So I'm glad you brought that up. I almost forgot about that.
4 things. All right. Now I heard through the grapevine that he's working on the next dedication mixtape, right? So he's gonna do a mixtape. That would be so like dedication huge. 6. That would be so huge. I think honestly that would it would just be such a huge. It would be one of the bigger years that Lil Wayne's had in a long time, I think.
If he goes back to the dedication time.
If he drops if he does another release this year, he could do it. I think that's something I really
before the end of the year.
I'd like something from Meek Mill.
Yeah, he's been out of the spotlight for a minute now.
For a while now.
You know what I just watched, like right before this podcast, was a trailer for a movie about kids riding bikes, like motorbikes and ATVs and stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming it takes place in Philadelphia. I think it's like a Philly movie about kids that grew up on the streets. And sure enough, like, you know, seconds after you see the motorcycle, I'm like, oh, okay, Meek Mill kind of looked to it. And you see Meek Mill. He's actually like a big character in it. So dude's been acting. I mean, he's A-list rapper right now. So he can A-list celebrity. So he's doing his own thing. He doesn't really need to rely on music. But yeah, I'd love to hear more from him.
Yeah, I'd like to see. And I think that's, you know, as far as like major artists, I think those are the main things I'm looking for. And you know, we did touch upon the biggest artists in the game with Kendrick and Cole. You know, that's sort of what I'm looking for to wrap the year up. And then I mean, I'd love to just hear something new. You know, right now on the female side of things, we're getting a lot of these, you know, obviously it's Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B and Nicki Minaj tries to wiggle her way in there too. And
it's their season. Well, at least Hot Girl Summer was.
I just wonder. I'm sorry, but Mulatto is in the same.
Oh, totally. Mulatto's in the
same category as them too.
Great album. Let's just say Queen of the South. I saved a lot of tracks on that thing.
Yeah.
At least a third of the tracks. Also, this chick named Flo Milli. I just found her through XXL or or hot new hip hop. She's got a Rico Nasty kind of voice or kind of sound.
Yeah.
A little bit sounding like Dreezy. Like she's got that, I don't know, that southern flavor, ton of confidence bursting through her music. Definitely a rougher sound. Like she's got a lot of evolving to do to get on like Dreezy's level, I would say. But go on with what was your point gonna be?
I wonder, I feel like we're not through, you don't, obviously we've been introduced to a lot of new artists this year, but, I feel like anybody can come up at any time. I hope, man, I just want a little different flavor of a female artist,
Okay. What did you think of Aquí Yo Mando? You heard that, right? I told you that was probably one of my favorite songs of the year. Like, in terms of singles, it's by Kali Uchis.
Oh, okay. But it's completely in Spanish, right?
Yeah, I think so, actually. Yeah, I think the whole song's in Spanish.
That's fine, too. Yeah, I can get into that. I'm just looking for...
I thought that was... I mean, this might sound like an exaggeration, but I was blown away by that song.
Okay. I'm gonna check that out.
All I knew Kali Uchis for was like being featured on a Tyler the Creator track. I didn't know that she made powerful music like that.
Yeah.
And it was big enough to get a Genius video where her and Rico Nasty broke down the lyrics. Man, I loved watching that. Like they were just...
That's cool.
I don't know. It sounded like they had a really good time making that song. It's very unique.
I'd like Rico to put out something.
Totally, yeah. I mean,
she's because I consider her a female artist that I don't put in that typical female,
right?
Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion. I just want to see something a little different. And I love Young M.A. I love Young M.A. You know what I mean? I just want more of that. I want more of...
Well, Snow the Product released a couple singles. She's been dropping singles, I want to say like once a month or so. She's got a decent amount of music out. Yeah. You could always go and check that out. Because I'm always checking her releases as soon as she drops. And she never disappoints.
Definitely. I know there's room for another type of female artist, I know there is. I'm just waiting for it to happen. Somebody young.
Let's hope. Season Q4. Let's hope that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I hope so. But yeah, man. Well, this was good. Successful as always. I love talking rap. I think Q4. I'm hoping it's sort of that reverse bell curve. We started high, a little bit lower. Q2, Q3. I hope we just come right. I hope we finish, really strong for 2020.
That sounds like the stock market.
Yeah, exactly.
It sounds like our economy right now.
Yeah, I'm really hoping, we finish strong. So.
Yep, I'm gonna do what I always do at the end of our podcast. I just feel like there's a lot of stuff I want to mention that maybe isn't worth diving into, but I want to give quick shout outs, if you will.
Definitely.
See You When I'm Famous, with like 10 exclamation points as part of the title, by Kyle. I'm a big fan of Kyle. Super unique artist.
What?
You don't like Kyle?
Oh God! Oh,
not a fan.
God, kill me. I'd rather. Oh my God.
Are you serious?
Oh, I'd rather.
Super duper Kyle. I mean, I hear.
Oh my God, that is so fun. That's so corny. I cannot do that.
That's what I thought at first, but dude, I don't know. I like his how unique his stuff is.
Okay.
But I only heard the album once, but I like.
You like it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. My Hustle Unmatched by Dizzy Wright. Big Dizzy Wright fan. I mean, I'm just a big fan of anybody that's been part of Funk Volume. Anyone associated with Hobson, obviously.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's one of this. I feel like this has happened before, but with My Hustle Unmatched, his album, I literally saved every other song. Like legitimately every. I remember Doja Cat's last album, Hot Pink, was just like that as well. It's like every other song was good. And I could kind of see that. Awesome. Like, yeah, I mean, when I see or when I have constructed my mixtape in the past, like King Things, I would like try to alternate the kind of sound that I had throughout the album. So I feel like maybe there's some theme with that that's maybe very subtle, but every other song I could see being really good. Wow. All Praises Due by Khan, really chill, dope album. I mean, this dude's dropping literally like every 3 months.
That's great.
And I think this had a very similar sound to his last one. He probably could have dropped it all at once, but this was a really cool EP. I think it's an EP. Super chill, good chill music. I think that's all I gotta say then.
Oh, I think that was good. I think we covered a lot. As always, thanks, brother. Like, we just have that mutual respect for the game, mutual respect for rap. So,
dude, without rap, life would be black and white. It would be empty. There'd be nothing.
It's just, it's good. It's a good time, even though, we get all these different types of sounds. There seems like there's some promise. I'm hearing new artists, come up and put out good music, and I'm consistently going to them. So,
for sure,
like, I'm just excited. I'm always excited to hear what's next. So,
no doubt, figure out what's popping.
What's popping? Okay, cool.
Whip just hopped in.
All right, R3 Podcast, DJ Mayhem signing out.
Duranman signing out.
Peace.
Peace.